Why is this? Oh, wait. So you're telling me the whole time I've been here talking and then it's like nobody's telling me like the sounds wasn't even working. So yeah, let me. Oh, actually, let me test this because I actually didn't realize that the sound wasn't working, man. Jesus. Yeah, so the sounds are working out. So the whole time, man, it wasn't even working. So sorry about that. So probably guys, and I know I'm sure if you guys were hearing, when I gave the clearance, yeah. So he's actually pushing back there, which he actually just did. It's a Caribbean Alliance. Was that glue nego? What's that? You know what? I actually have to put the translate thing. Larry Donuts, man. What's that? Glue nego. Not sure what you're trying to say there, but welcome, 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 man. If you have anything that you want to say, well, I hope you didn't actually move him. Please refrain from using foul language. Not, yeah, yeah. This gonna block you, man. Don't be using some bad words.
Tower Caribbean 805, request SC2 runway 10 with Alpha.
Don't be using some bad words there, man. Alright, so, oh, he said he's on. Alright, so I'm gonna basically tell him to go to Alpha 1 because this is what, they let you go to initially. So Caribbean Island of 845, taxi to holding point Alpha 1 via Zulu and Alpha.
Alpha 1 via Zulu Alpha Caribbean 845.
Caribbean 845 squawk mode Charlie. Alright, so I'm just making sure. Let me see. You can have
Charlie Caribbean 845.
Taxi. I'll just put it. No ATC above me actually right now. But yeah, I was talking about this weather, man. They have the weather. So like Friday, by Friday, like if you look at today, for example, today's what, Tuesday? Let's say, yeah, 20. And then you basically by Friday, like if you look at this section here, by Friday, it's definitely gonna get kind of bad by Friday when it comes to the Caribbean. Yeah. At the moment, there's like a storm stuff coming, approaching. You guys can see these is thunderstorms. All right. So this is thunderstorms. So you can see a lot of thunderstorms around. Let's press play. And yeah, by Friday. So by Friday, everybody have to watch out themselves. Alright. Yeah, so give me a second here. Let me just put something off here. Actually, let me change this. I'll give you guys something else, man. I'll put something else that I normally put onto my music free, man. Jeez, that'll be a little bit. Alright. A second here. Yeah, so small progress is actually better than no progress. You know, so sometimes you don't have to like try to always make a lot of things happen, you know. So sometimes you just have to steady yourself, steady your ship, and you know, carry yourself that way. So at the moment, yeah, just steady my way coming up. I do have a few things actually to come, so I actually have to get things organized and all that kind of stuff. So that is gonna be moving along, and yeah, it's gonna be very exciting. Yeah, a few things because really I just like the idea of whole community building and all that kind of stuff. So we're gonna talk a few things about ATC. Like I said, one of it, you know, funny enough, weather also, not because it's just about clearance and stuff, but you also want to give ATC, you know, traffic advisory and stuff. You never know on the day there's weather and stuff. Somebody wanting to do VFR, and you know you tell them there's a lot of weather to the north or stuff like that. They're doing like a local like weather to the north or whatever, like you know you advise them about a lot of weather and stuff like that, altitudes and stuff, just to, because generally they're supposed to get the briefing, weather briefing, and sometimes obviously they don't do it, which majority of flight sim might not always do that. But it's always good to actually just practice trying to emulate like the real world in terms of operations and stuff. You know, sometimes in the real world, like you know, ATC delays departures and stuff because of weather. Or sometimes even arrivals, they are delayed arrivals because of weather. For example, like Dominica and stuff, who doesn't have some capabilities, although they have RNAV now. But like landing, you don't see the runway, so you have to literally be descending into the runway without any sort of capabilities. Let's say on days when it's very, very bad. So all of these things like you have to consider. So yeah. Alright, so if you guys have anything to ask about, like you know, we can talk a little bit more about it. So let me just take this off, because this weather, let me see, by Friday, this is Thursday, Friday, let's see what clouds it says. Pile of clouds. There's a bit of rain around actually, so if we put back rain, you guys can see there's some to do. Not today. There is rain today anyway, because it's like there is something called convective. There, you know, sigmats and stuff like that. So it doesn't always have to be only when a weather is coming that there's rain. It could build rain up. Rain can get built at the moment, so we still have a bit of. So St. Vincent obviously would be under some weather there. Although today is Tuesday, so let's see what it says. On Tuesday, okay, at the moment.
Tower, Caribbean 845, on Alpha 1, runway 10, ready for departure.
Alright. And Caribbean Airlines 845, would you like a full length departure or intersection? Wait, did he say that? Not sure.
We could take a full length departure for Caribbean 845.
Roger. Caribbean 845. Press runway 10 at Alpha. Taxi to holding point Bravo 3 via Bravo. Alright.
Roger, cross runway 10 at Alpha, holding point Bravo 1 by Bravo, Caribbean 845.
I mean, if generally you practice, if there's no traffic and stuff, tower can tell you to just continue, or if you're a ground controller, and then tower can actually just tell you to just tell the traffic to just taxi all the way across the runway. But generally, ground stops them at Alpha 1. Yeah, because that's ground is in charge of the taxiway, not the apron, taxiways. So an apron taxiway stops here, whereas this side here, this is a tower here. So most times with the traffic here from ground, they get start up and stuff, but when they taxi they get onto tower because they're already on the other side and just get straight to either here Bravo 1 or if it's like a 747 they just go into Bravo 3 and take off. Depends. So what a few things. What is that? Oh, flight sim gaming, man. I love flying into Piarco and Vatsim. Oh yeah, man, appreciate it. Yeah. I actually like controlling Piarco as well. So how you doing? Man? Good to see you on, man. Sorry that I didn't actually respond quickly there. How you doing? If you're still here, man, at least let me know. If you're still there, man, good to see you. I should have probably put tower view, you know, but no tower view today. Just because this is just well, just talking about ADC and stuff like that. So yeah, if you guys have anything you guys want to ask me about, do feel free, man. We can talk a little bit, you know, EuroScope at the moment, EuroScope. So, you know, quite a lot of things to talk about. At the moment, I'm just practicing for my solo for S2, so. Yeah, so Piarco and stuff, all my credentials and all that kind of stuff, this is what you do to just log in. Obviously, you download it from the actual website, which I believe on my channel. I believe if I go on my channel. Sorry. Oh, sorry. I think if I go on the actual description, I think I did link, but I mean you can actually open EuroScope anyway. So yeah, you can get EuroScope from here. So there's quite a lot of things to actually talk about when it comes to EuroScope, man. Yeah, still here. Piarco was my first international airport I flew into on Vatsim outside of North America. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. That's nice. Yeah, you know, I think a lot of people back in the days, a lot of people used to come to Trinidad. I think because like there's an airport, like Trinidad was very busy. The airport was busy. Like you know, you had actual airport for 2020. Or sorry for FSX and P3D, that sort of thing. Oh, my friend's calling. He said, "Hello, Miguel." I wish I could like show you guys that screen, but it's actually all on the other side. But yeah, because
Qatar Caribbean 845 holding short 10 Bravo 1 ready for departure.
Right, so he's getting ready for departure there. So generally, you know, you should use the tags and stuff. Right? You know, you could release the tags if there's somebody else. But you have to release the tag anyway, so that the other controller gets him. And it's a way of transferring across. Well, I'll come back to the talk. I was talking about Piarco. And Caribbean 845, Roger, runway 10, cleared for takeoff, surface wind 080 degrees, 6 knots, fly runway heading 4,100 feet, and left turn approved. Ooh, yeah.
Runway 10, cleared for takeoff, fly runway heading up to 4,100, then left turn approved, Caribbean 845.
Yeah, that's, yeah, so, basically, yeah, what I talked about was, yeah, from there you can climb up to 4001, which is there's a lot of terrain to the north, yeah. And then yeah, you don't want traffic going into the terrain there. If I go to like, I'll come back to the thing I was talking about actually. To do with Piarco. The thing is, Piarco is now, when it comes to Piarco, like Piarco Airport, it was one of the big airports in FSX days, as well as Barbados Airport in FSX days. So like these airports were like, they had like an actual, you know, airport and stuff. So people used to fly into like the Caribbean and like, fly into like Trinidad. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. Cause I would say for me, that's how it was with me when it comes to me. And I was, yeah, I was just all about flying into Piarco. If I remember Barbados for sure, the scenery. Like I used to just like taking my 777, PMDG 777 and just land, or even the PMDG 747, and just land into Trinidad, man. Somebody else logged in, so we have another person logged in here. Caribbean Airlines and Hughes, he's from Jamaica. 416, Grantley Adams from Trinidad going into Barbados. Yeah, so quite a lot going on, guys. Guys, if I appreciate it, man. Really appreciate it, guys. If you like this, you know, support the channel, guys. Really appreciate it. I really appreciate guys for actually coming on. At least showing you guys, you know, showing support and stuff like that, man. I really absolutely really appreciate it. I'm not even gonna lie, I actually really appreciate it when every time you guys come and show your support. Alright, so when he gets off to about generally once he's taken off and stuff like that, you just transfer him on to the other controller, but at the moment there's no other controller. San Juan. No, give me a second. Give me a second. All right, Caribbean Airlines 845. No further ATC is available. Over to advisory. Have a good day, sir. Bye bye.
Over to advisory 122.8 Caribbean 845. I'll say curry chicken over chicken curry any day. Have a good one.
Yeah, man. You have a good one as well. Bye. So he's actually, because his SVMI, he's actually asking me a few things here.
Can you repeat that again?
No, I just said, man, have a good one, man. Appreciate it.
Okay, yeah, you too.
Yeah. So yeah, he's gone. If I wanted, I'll have done the tower view, but not today. So yeah, just not today. You know what? Instead of probably putting two screens. Well, actually, I'll just leave it like that, honestly. Yeah, I'll leave it like that, honestly. So yeah, if you guys actually want to talk about something, man, we can actually talk about some stuff. Yeah, to be honest, like ATC is how you feel. What you guys think about ADC? You know, what you guys think about ADC, man, and stuff like that. ADC, I think, is really, really good. Honestly, it's very challenging, but yeah. So some of the things I learned when it comes to ADC, like traffic patterns. So let me just use not this stuff here I'm doing here, but traffic patterns, for example. So like, let me zoom in on Piarco Airport, which is over here. You guys know the traffic patterns. When you go on the upwind, let's say if you're taking off runway 10, go on the upwind. And you go up the upwind, then you go on the crosswind there, and then you go on the downwind leg, and then you go on the base, and then from the base over here, then you go on the final, and that is a right hand pattern, because as you can see, you're doing actually right hand. This is the left side, but this is the right side. So you're turning right. That's what I mean, pattern, traffic pattern, right hand pattern. Now, something I didn't actually know at the time was when it comes to like the traffic pattern that way. Like, let's say if a traffic is coming from over here, you don't rightfully, because most times people might come there and then just go straight across, whether they're doing VFR. Rightfully, when you're doing VFR as a pilot, what they're saying is that you shouldn't just enter the downwind just like that, right? Sorry, you shouldn't just enter the base leg, right? You should join the downwind, which makes it clear you cleared off both sides of the runway, and then from the join the downwind, then you're gonna continue onto the base leg and then for the runway. So that way you keep yourself in the pattern for arrival when it comes to VFR. I think people know about like you could go the 45 degree. You start at 45. So if you come over here, now that's the thing, right? If you're coming from over here, there is some ways of doing this stuff, man. But generally in some places are not too congested and you don't really worry about it. But they have some countries that actually have 45. So if you join, if it's a right hand and you're going in 40, you have to go in 45. You're joining on the 45, and then you actually then go on the base leg, downwind leg, and then go into the base. But yeah, that's how it is in some of the countries, but not every single one of them, but most of them could be like that. But some others would just be straight. Some will just tell you could just end it straight and then just go on the base, the downwind leg. So yeah, quite a lot of things I actually learned about when it comes to ADC, man. I'm not even gonna lie, you know. So yeah, I appreciate it. I really actually appreciate it. Today's just like I said, just talk a little bit about ADC. It's not gonna be too long. I have a segment of that part coming up pretty soon. So I am going to talk a little bit more about that kind of stuff. With not just myself, but with a partner who's going to be, or I will be discussing some things. Yeah. So look out for that. It's gonna be exciting. It's a lot of things, you know. I always have a lot of things going on. You know, I'm just one of these people where I just do a lot of things. Yeah, man. So it's just, yeah, that's just my thing. So let me just remove something here for a second, and give me a second here. Okay. Give me a quick second. He said nice also me. I'm telling you, most time it's like circuits, which is great when it comes to tower. Yeah, so that's pretty nice, you know. Alright, so this guy is going to Barbados. What's his name here? Hughes. Just give me a second. I'm just posting some stuff in Discord as well. Actually, you know, I'll probably show you guys on that screen as well. So can't be bothered. So I'm in Discord there, so I'll just posting up. I'm gonna tell him I put that stuff here with like post, and then I just probably post some stuff.
Pleasant good evening, Caribbean Airlines 416. We have information Bravo QNH 1011. Alright, back there to Barbados, please.
Alright, so I shouldn't be showing you guys one of this stuff because, but this is a little bit outdated anyway. So if I come up here to Trinidad, and I'm not gonna talk to you guys about what we've been doing, but this is just pretty much some information here. You guys can see 4001 stuff like that when it comes to like the transition. Let me just Caribbean 415 Piarco Tower, good day. Standby for the clearance. Alright. So you know, being calm and very calm. Yeah, it's very good to be very calm because as a power controller, you want to be competent and calm and trying to work things out, because sometimes you actually need to stay there and think about things in a logical sense. Alright, so like I think one of the thing is over here. You see, earlier I would have given the guy a squawk code. Where is he? Over here. I would have given him a 7.2. Right, so you guys can see 7.2 because that's international squawks, which some airports have their own types of squawks. So you see Robinson here. If it's domestics, you give them this range. If it's VFR, you give them this range. Yeah, when it comes to VFR local, this is VFR is different. All right, that's a different one compared to like domestic flights. Domestic, because I actually had to learn all that stuff as well. Yeah. So I didn't actually know the difference, but then I actually started telling me what the difference is and stuff like that. So then I was like, oh, well, that makes a lot more sense. So yeah. Let me take some of this stuff out. And yeah, so let me just give him the clearance here. And because alright, so I'll put him on 7.2 because he's going, sorry, not 7, because he's going domestically. Alright, so since he's going domestically out of out of Piarco, he has to get 4.2 not 7.2. So you change this to like 4.2. Alright. And Caribbean 416, are you ready to copy? Or I have our clearance. And now I have ATIS as well, which is over here. Information Bravo. Caribbean 416 information Bravo current. Declared to currently Adams via the Uniform Romeo 515 Airway. Bravo Golf India via direct. Climbed flight level 290 and squawk 4251.
Okay, we're clear to Barbados by the Uniform Romeo 515, the Bravo Golf India direct, and climb out to flight level 290, squawk in 4251.
Alright, here we go. Caribbean 416, readback is correct. Report when ready for push and start. Well, I sometimes you're not sure if you're hearing them properly, but in my opinion, I think I heard him properly there. In my opinion, sometimes when they taxi out, sometimes you would tell whether the squawk is not squawking right. Then you can actually just tell them. For example, it doesn't show that it's actually squawking the right one right now. But hopefully it changes, and if it changes, it'll turn green, and then you know that they're actually on it. So yeah, so let's get back to ATC stuff as I was talking about. So they have some other things when it comes to ATC, man. All of this stuff I had to actually learn all of these things, man. Well, actually getting to know what they are. I didn't actually know initially, but You can put some plugins here. Right now I have the RDF, which basically you can tell who's calling you or where the person is at. So when he speaks, you see like the other big circle. That's the RDF plugin, so at least you know where that person is calling from. That's the UK people from Europe and stuff. They tend to use that because they use it especially with the V strips. But if you're not using V strips, you could actually just use the whole EuroScope. If you want to use just EuroScope. Oh, he said what? I'm waiting for an event at Piarco. Oh, nice. Yeah, I saw in the messages. Yeah, Alpha spoke about it because I know the guy. He's in charge of advertising and all that kind of stuff. So he's a pilot himself. So it's nice to see like some of the pilot in the real world. Actually, let me go on it. Actually, at least not necessarily giving back, but trying to do something. They had 24 votes. He says select 3 airports you would want to see active in our next event. 3 airports. So you pick the top. Let me see some of them here. St. Vincent. Let me see. I have a feeling people haven't used St. Kitts or something like that. Probably not Grenada. Not sure. Probably. We've done Martinique. This one not Martinique. This Guadeloupe. I would choose probably not Barbados, Trinidad. We've done there quite a lot now. I would say, what do you guys think? I would say St. Kitts. I would say. I would say St. Vincent. That's 2. These are non-radar airports. He did say ready for. And actually, I would say Grenada because I think it's been a while. Oh, here's the votes here. People talking about Grenada. You see, I figured that. And Caribbean Airlines at 416, pushing south Peru, facing south, QNH 1010, runway 10 news. Alright.
QNH 1010 pushing south is approved, facing to the south, runway 10, Caribbean 416.
Hello, what do you say? I hope you have a good day, buddy. Yeah, I'm actually trying my best here. So I'm actually just talking about like ADC and stuff like that, so sorry about that if I didn't actually see the messages earlier. Then the gamer, really cool name as well. The gamer. Which other games you play? You play other games? Alright, let me see. So far he hasn't changed his squad. I haven't seen him change his squawk. And Caribbean Airlines 416, just confirm your squawk 4261.
4261 for Caribbean 416.
Yeah, see, that's what I was talking about earlier. Sometimes they might. Yeah. Sometimes they might not even tell you. Yeah, I would love to be in one of these right now. Oh yeah, watching something here. It's pretty nice. I actually did 2 flights to New York, but I'm not gonna lie, VR is a little bit crazy. Although I have it, but it's just I don't like it. I don't like the thing that shows up, so I take it off. Yeah, it's a bit hurting your eyes and stuff. If you don't have it configured correctly as well, then it tends to look a little bit shitty as well. Yeah, I would like to be there. I'm just going to wait. Yeah. Like the transfer. To me, I'm seeing guys controlling order snow. Oh, Piarco Center is on there. Oh, nice. I'm seeing guys controlling all the airports. Yeah, I think. I'm not too sure, you know, but I think it's something that I like to transfer in or something like that. Yeah. Anyways, let me continue what I was doing. Oh, someone's online, so I think he'd know. Hello, he said hello. Hello. Who is that controlling right now? Who is controlling? Oh, that's Bradley. Oh, Bradley. Said hello. Nice. Yeah, unfortunately I can't send. I don't know what was that. Probably. Oh, he sent a ATC and not actually. Yeah, it's different. I can actually send like a generally. He's speaking to actually San Juan controller there. Yeah. Actually speaking to San Juan. Right. So yeah, I'm not, like I said, I'm not gonna actually be talking about all of this stuff.
7416, ready for taxi information, Bravo.
Alright. I Caribbean 416, a taxi to Holding Point Alpha 1 via Zulu Alpha.
Alpha 1, Zulu and Alpha for Caribbean.
So you guys,
416.
you guys see that? See how it got the circular? That's because of the RDF plugin. So if you come out here in the plugin section, that's the RDF plugin for, and yeah, it's allowed on the standard radar radar screen. So actually, initially I didn't have these things configured properly, but one of the guys came in to help me figure it out, how to get it all sorted out, because I didn't actually have it all figured out or set up properly. Yeah, I didn't actually figure it out properly. Yeah, you could, I think over here squawk option, you could change it, but that depends on the airport. So let's say if you're at an airport, whether it's Barbados or whatever, you put a squawk range and it's just gonna give you spit out the range over here. Yeah, so stuff like that. So you have to actually have to do that if you want that. So light is L, heavy is H, super is S, medium is M. So that's for that. Okay, so I'm gonna ask him if he wants full length takeoff. And Caribbean 416, will you be taking a full length departure today or intersection? Generally I ask.
Intersection Alpha 1 there for Caribbean 416.
Yeah, no, generally I ask them just to make sure, so in that way at least it's a little bit easier to just take clear them for takeoff, because I mean it's quite long generally. Roger. Alright, so
We are ready for departure once we get there.
okay, he's ready for departure, right? And Caribbean at 416 this time. No traffic factor, runway 10 cleared for takeoff. Surface winds 100 degrees, 5 knots. Fire runway heading 4100. Left and approved.
Okay, left on approve, 4100, clear takeoff on the 10, Caribbean 416.
Right. It's nice, you know, it's actually nice. Ooh, Mr. Stack is back as the, what's his name? Strong squads to take on India on a blockbuster. Oh, everybody looking for that blockbuster type of. Yeah, I swear. Everyone's looking for that blockbuster type of thing. Alright, so he's taking off here. Let me see. You guys still there, or you guys know, yeah? Because I'm not gonna be staying on too long. Just gonna be talking about, like I said, a little bit about ATC and all the kind of stuff. That's my school stuff I'm doing here. Actually, let me go on it here. Yeah, I've got some stuff to give up. So this JetBlue left from Grenada. What is this? Oh, J. Actually, yeah, that's J. And yeah, so wind is on. Argyle is from TNCM. Right, so some good blokes, you know, around. So it's nice to actually see that. But like I said, I just come on just to talk a little bit about ATC and all that kind of stuff. And I find it very exciting, like I say, with ATC. You learn a lot. See, and a Caribbean 416 over to Piarco Center on 123.7. Have a good day, sir. Bye bye.
123.7. You have a great evening as well. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Bye bye.
All right. So no tower view there today. If I had tower view, man, but today is not about that. So we're just talking about it. So I just transfer him, as you guys see from here, from Piarco Center onto, yeah, from Piarco Tower, and obviously onto center, because that's where the tower is, the center. So yeah, so he's basically following up with the route that he has, which is the uniform Romeo. Generally, what I've learned as well is you don't say when the airway or the waypoint or something like that is actually not on the actual runway, sorry, airport. So sometimes the VRR might be over here. If the VRR is over here, then you tell them that, because they could be going here and directing to here and then taking off. I'm sorry, and then going that direction. Whereas POS is over here. So you're not gonna, most times when you tell them POS and then the airway, well, you tell them the airway because POS is gonna be first point anyway. Because you know you can't just take the airway, so it's the airway from the point POS. So now when they take off, they're gonna continue climb up to 4001 and then continue. Yeah. So there's quite a lot when it comes to ADC, and I actually like it. Hello Gerald, hello Gerald. Yeah, so there's quite a lot when it comes to ADC, and actually, like I said, today is just a start of some of the things I have planned. So we are gonna talk a little bit more. Well, you guys know I like to talk, but I will be doing some more sessions, some other sessions with one of my friends and stuff, and obviously we'll be getting some other people. So we're gonna talk a little bit more. We're gonna have a little bit more discussions, things like yeah, some other things along the way, some podcasts stuff coming along the way. So do look out for that. So at least, you know, within the Caribbean area as well, we're gonna talk about a lot of things. Yeah, so that is gonna be very exciting. Right. So another thing is the ATIS. You'd obviously need the ATIS. Yeah, so you have to actually, I had to learn this ATIS as well. It's called VATIS on the internet, and this actually changes automatically based on the settings. So let's say if we use Trinidad, for example, this is the frequencies and stuff here. There's a well, you could change the preset. This is text stuff like RNAV. Obviously sandbox and things if you're doing some sort of type of session like that. But generally you don't really play around with any of that. Skip it to this standard stuff. I mean, if you want to do voice, text, voice sound and stuff like that, then that's fine, but not necessarily a need. And then obviously the code range from A to Z, you know, Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, that kind of thing. Yeah, so it's pretty nice, all that kind of stuff. So let me change this. Actually take it out. So when it changes, which is like I think on the hour or something like that, then it's actually gonna go to like something different. Probably could be Charlie or Delta or whatever. So that's one thing. So many other things, man, when it comes to ADC you have to know about. Like traffic coming in and out, that's something else I actually had to know about. Like the spacing. I'm not gonna show you guys the documents and stuff because obviously that's, you know, with Piarco and them, because I'm on solo, so I can't really talk about that. So yeah, I'm not gonna talk about it until after I get my S2, and then obviously I'll be under mic controls and stuff. But at the moment, since I'm not fully, then yeah, and according to obviously with connection with Piarco, And if anybody actually wanted to know about Piarco as well, they could probably go on my channel and you'll see Piarco over there. So you guys can actually go over there. I like that they actually with Piarco now. You can actually see, was that hey Hill. Yeah man, hey, hi Whitson man, good to see you. See that you did a flight day the other day as well. So it's nice to actually see you. So I was just talking about I have some things coming up because you know I'm a very patriotic, passionate aviation person from time of FSX coming all the way up. And then I was telling myself, when will I actually get involved or get to the ATC? And I actually did that step, and now I'm an S1 controller and actually moved along from S1 now into S2 training. So it's like going along, but I mean it's taking a while because I had busy stuff like that, whatever, long things happening. But that's the thing, I love it. I love aviation. I wanted to be a pilot. Didn't turn out the way I wanted to happen, and I'm still in the real world now looking to try and get myself involved in it around aviation with SLASPA and the government stuff like that, which I was actually shortlisted to go and do one of the ATC programs in Trinidad, which is by ECA, which is certified through ECA. So I was supposed to go to that, and then yeah, I decided I'm not going to. Well, sorry, not decided, but I ended up going to England and stuff like that. They called me and tell me, and I was like, is there an error another way? But they were like, oh, it's part of like work related and stuff. Or you said likewise. Yeah, man, appreciate it. Yeah, it was nice. Yeah, when we did that flight and stuff, man. I actually did another one after that. I ended up going to New York again because I had like a party and stuff like that. So I ended up using that time and actually had school because I actually had my stuff too. Upload it. Yes, I have some stuff to upload there right now. But yeah, so it's nice. I'm not gonna lie. Kind of lose my train of thought here. Yeah, but the whole aviation and everything. So like, I really liked it. You know, so getting towards to actually get shortlisted to actually go and do the program in Trinidad, and you know, to get my certification of actual like air traffic controller or something related to that for my country. And I'm like, this is a multi-billion-dollar company and stuff when it comes towards air traffic controllers. You know, it's financed through a lot of different big companies, obviously regulated through ICAO, FAA, obviously all of that stuff. So everything is streamlined. So even if it's ECA is in charge, even if ECA is in charge of the Caribbean, right? In terms of the Eastern Caribbean and stuff, right? It's like they follow the rules, obviously. Like, you know, we follow the rules and stuff for all right, like, let me go back again. So if I probably go up to the number one. Now these documents are slightly outdated, so I can't really well, actually it wouldn't be a problem because this is like sort of outdated stuff. Right, so let me just go to, yeah, so it's pretty much slightly outdated stuff, so you don't have to really worry about it. I'll show one of the training stuff, but not from the S2 because like I said, I'm in training and stuff for S2, so I don't want to talk about that. So I'm going to talk about S1 stuff. So I'm actually going to go to, not these, I can't talk about these because these are for my S2. But this one is the one. Alright. No, that's still, wait, is that the right one? Actually, oh, it's supposed to be open with Edge. It's not opening. Oh, it's not. Did I open it with the wrong one? Is that PowerPoint? Right, it's a PowerPoint. I don't know why I put it with Edge. I have to change that. Alright, so yeah, so welcome to Piarco FIR. Alright, so if Piarco, yes, is VATSIM, and sometimes people be like, you know, people don't even worry about these things when it comes to like Piarco and stuff and not realize obviously Piarco still have to run under VATCA, you know, because VATCA is the one in charge of the entire Caribbean, so it's VATCA and stuff. But obviously VATCA is run also obviously like through like, you know, America and stuff with the regulations and stuff. So VATSIM has to be aligned with that. or you have to be aligned with all of these type of things when it comes to air traffic control. So yeah, you have to actually get to understand that it is like basically it's like an internship, right? If you really think about it, it's like an internship. So it's good that you actually like learning to become the real world stuff. So it's like an internship. So really and truly, people supposed to be on VATSIM. Not yeah, you could do it as a hobby and stuff. But it obviously the main idea behind all of this stuff is to really train people to become things that they want to become. You know, so it's a hobby to train you for the real world things that you want to become. But if you want, you could just have it as a hobby, obviously. But majority, I think, of people actually try to do it for a good cause and not necessarily as just a hobby. Yeah, but still, just give me a quick second. Let me just answer this guy. SVMI approach. Gerald says right. Yeah. He says visitor status is just allowing someone from other FIR to control without completing transfer. Home division is Venezuela, but I'm allowed to control Piarco. Right. Yeah, I saw some changes they spoke about, and that's the thing. The thing he's talking about the whole. I'm gonna come to it now. He's talking about, okay, so this is Caribbean VATSIM Caribbean division, right? So you're talking about the transfer. So if you go to some of the you can actually a role request, and I believe if I remember, sorry, that's yeah, like certain things that yeah, if you want to apply for certain things, like you can go and apply here. Obviously these are the stuff are some other things, but let me show you this section that I think if I remember he's talking about. So this is Piarco stuff, so FIR training especially, but this generally people talk more on this here. The guys actually talk more here. Obviously they have the FIR stuff here, but you could actually transfer instead of that, but they probably changed some things around. Yeah, they probably changed some things around because I remember they were talking about it. Let me put it in the announcement because they have some things that they're exposing or they're talking about. Team vacancies and all. They have some different things they're talking about. It's somewhere inside. I just can't remember. Yeah. Please help us in. Welcome in. Our stream partner is alright. Piarco FIR. A channel mix. So that's pretty nice. I should have probably followed that, man, to my actual channel. You know, I actually didn't even put that. So yeah. But yeah, anyways, so others people, and I'll probably pin that as well. I didn't actually do that. I actually forgot, but yeah. Actually, yeah, let me just pin that. That's nice. Yeah, so yeah, Piarco, man. So if I come back to where is it? Piarco, where is Piarco? Piarco, where is Piarco? Jesus, I'm losing Piarco, man. Oh, here it is. Yeah, so what I like about Piarco now is like, oh, you can actually see like who's active. Like that's if people actually on the website. Before you couldn't even tell like who's there or something like that. But now you can actually like go and you know you can actually see who's online, stuff like that. And if the person is online for a specific time, I believe. Yeah, so it says right, oh, not specific time, but he's on for 10 minutes now, and I'm on for about an hour and 24, and Alpha is on for 13. So it's nice, you know. Alpha, as you see here, he's actually a real world pilot, and I have him in my Discord as well. So if I go in members section, you'll see here it says pilot, so he's actually a pilot. Yeah, so he's an actual pilot. So yeah, he's actually doing some training and stuff as well. So if you go, I don't want to talk a little bit about it, but yeah, it's good to actually have these sort of things in place, because when it comes to ATC, you know, you need to have, like, for example, when we're doing events, we either go to where is it? yeah, to any one of the controlling stuff here. So at least we'll be able to talk to each other, like tower can talk to ground, ground can talk to whoever. We could do it on this as well, on this program here, which is good. So we can actually do it on the program right away, which is really nice. So like for here, I can actually like left click. When I left click, so it's actually open a box here. I don't know if you guys can see at the bottom here. And then if I type, I'm typing something now, some crazy stuff here at the bottom. Down here. Hopefully you guys seen that. I'm not sure, but yeah. Down here I can type to center controller. I can actually even, you can actually tune in to the tower, sorry, to the center controller over here. So if I go to, and I press enter, TTZ, right, I will, and I press receive, this is receive, I will hear when he's making a transition on the frequency. Alright, I cannot talk because obviously I'm not on his, on that frequency. I'm on my own frequency, but center. So if I go back and let me see, give me a second. Yeah, so there's not much traffic here anyway. Yeah, there's not much traffic. So there's one over here. There's another one. So not really much going on right now. The traffic, all of them are actually in here, so he's not really as much to say. And also Alpha is over there, and Alpha doesn't have much to say either. So Hugh's already left, going to Barbados. He's from Jamaica. I think you might hear just now, but I'm not gonna put the frequency on because I don't want to be, you know, he might say this, he doesn't want his voice on. So yeah, you might say there we go. Oops, so give me a second guys, I've got a call from my class here. Okay. I've got a call from my class, can you imagine that? Hey, give me a second everybody. Give me a second. everybody. So just give me a second. I did on a call, group call and stuff like that. So yeah, so that's just some class stuff. So we finishing off with just a little discussion she's just talking about here. So I'm not gonna stay on too late. Yes. So don't go anywhere. I'm actually still here. So don't go anywhere. I would say probably for the maximum just 2 minutes. So yeah. I have to head back and do some stuff I'm doing here. So I'm doing some internships, well, sort of internship stuff. Thing to do with ATC and ECA and stuff like that. So practicing pretty much. Yes. So I'm gonna get back to that. But I will be on. I say I'll just wait for probably. I say I'll wait for like next hour or so. She probably might come back on because Jamaican time, 1 hour, and then I would actually be able to like probably if she says something, then we might just check something, a little check something here, and then just send it up. Yeah, so I don't think, because honestly I feel like we probably I don't want to overdo it. I don't want us to overthink this, and I think like because yeah, there's no way we're going to get full marks or whatever in this thing when you don't know all the criterias exactly. So just give up. All right, so yeah, but we will catch up on that. Yeah, so I'll just wait on the next hour or so, and then I'll get back with y'all in the chat. Hopefully she gets back. Okay. All right. Okay, I'll see. Yeah. All right, so that was class. So you guys were hearing all of that. Well, I just put it on the last bit just so you guys hear a little bit of it. So who's here and who's not here? Who's on the live and who's not on the live? So let me know now who's here and who is not here. Guys, let's talk. Who's here and who's not here? Yeah. Who's here and who's not here? Okay, let me just take out something here first. But yes, like I said, look out for some things I have coming, which I'll put. So let me just take out this screen because, oh, all right. So let me see. Okay, so let's get back to what we were doing. Who's here and who's not here? Who's here and who's not here? So see, go and pick up Kiwi. Who's here and who is not here? I'm here talking about air traffic controlling and all that kind of stuff, which I'm actually gonna, because I actually just came. Oh, I have so many things to do right now. I just came out from another class discussion here. Because we have this to submit literally in the next 4 hours, and it is very important to do with operations management, which is hiring, firing, and all these type of things, and coordinating scheduling, and it's a very important, very important. Obviously, like airports and all these kind of things need that, or most management or most companies and all these kind of things need to be able to have these type of people. So obviously, I'm training on that. So yeah, so Chloe. Tell me I go and pick up Kimmy. Well, when Kimmy finish. Yeah, because I know I have my assignment due on the next 4 hours, and she also have her birthday starting in the next 4 hours. And her big 3-0. Her big 3-0. So last night, imagine last night, Chloe, if you're still here, last night I had my brother had his birthday party last night, right? And it was such a big party and stuff. You know, my brother always goes all out. You know, he always does all kind of thing. And guess what? I wasn't there for almost the entire thing because I had to do with my session last night, with my class and stuff. So while they were doing the drink up, I was like, guys, hurry up, you know, because I have to go. So they were stalling. I was like, all right, fellas, all right, see ya. So I didn't even have time to like drink. I even had time to like drink with them and stuff like that. Like, you know, yeah. So literally, I just like took my finger and go in the middle of everybody taking pictures and all of that, because I had to literally go for my meeting and stuff. And that meeting, we had that meeting for like 3 hours long last night. So I ended up coming back for like the last hour of my own brother big party, very big party last night. So I didn't even actually enjoy that. So I didn't have actually, yeah, I didn't actually even have time to really sit down and really enjoy my own big brother, my own little brother party, man. So things are happening, and look, now I have session, I have class things. We just talk. I'm waiting for this person for her to come back for the next hour. So we have quite a lot going on, man. But you know, that's part of whole management and all that kind of stuff. So while I'm doing this program here with ATC and stuff, because I was actually part of I was shortlisted for ECHA. I don't know if Chloe here. Chloe, are you here? Are you even here? Give me a second. Give me a quick second here. All right, so let me just get this program out. So for those who don't know, all right, there it is. All right, so let me come back on screen here. All right, here we go. All right. So yeah, so this is ECHA, which is the Eastern Caribbean Civil Aviation Authority, and I love aviation, you know. I'm absolutely love aviation. Yeah, actually, wait, hold on. What's that? What time? Actually, let me give a call. Let me give a call as well, because yeah, I need to find out actually. Let me give a call. Yeah, let me give a call, because anytime she's with what's his name again? I can't even forgetting his name actually. Yeah, I keep forgetting his name, man. What's his name again? She's probably still doing her stuff, man. She's that hair and everything's probably taking like God knows how long. And you know how women are. Yeah, that's probably taking for literally forever. Right. Yeah, so she's not really responding right now, so you can tell she's freaking busy right now. Big 3-0. Big 3-0. Yeah, so yeah, hopefully when she finish. Anyways. Alright, so yeah, I have so many things to worry about, man. Jesus. But yeah, ECHA, Eastern Caribbean Civil Aviation So yeah, I was obviously, well, they're the actual officiating body to actually give you the certificates and stuff, your license and everything, to be in like whether air traffic controller and all that kind of things, or pilots, you know, whether it's helicopters and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, so I love that. I mean, it's $1 billion companies and stuff, you know. So I mean, if you damage something, it's not gonna be like $100, $200. If you damage something, it's gonna be thousand millions of dollars, you know. So planes, people lives and stuff. So yeah, so I was shortlisted to actually go and do the program and stuff, which I actually went to England instead. So yeah, they're the ones who actually, like I say, approved everybody, airworthiness, stuff like that, operations and all that kind of thing. Weight, as you see, they say weight balance and all kind of things. They have to learn all these things, obviously get approved. That you, the pilot, knows about everything to do with that. Get approved and checked and all that kind of stuff. So that comes to Caribbean. Yeah. So and if I actually open up Slasper, which I think so yeah, let me just open up Slasper here. Slasper. So basically, Slasper is the officiating body that have to actually shortlist you and all that kind of stuff. So let me just go on Slasper right now. Yeah, so Slasper and them, so they did shortlist me to go and do interviews and all that kind of stuff to go to the program, right? So I was like, okay, well, you know, but yeah, they said June and stuff, and I was like, nah, can't do that because I'm in England and stuff. And it was like, oh, can I do it over like online and stuff? Because I'm like, the program, you don't actually sit down to go and do the actual ATC program, like in the classroom. You do the program online anyway, and they teach you a lot of things. Rigorous program, very, very rigorous program, and everything. Because you have to learn, like I was showing earlier, just now. Like, where is it? Not this one. That's VATSIM. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Windy. Where is windy.com? Here it is. So you have to learn literally everything. Like for example, like weather and all that kind of stuff, man. You have to know literally weather. You have to know weather and all that kind of thing. Like you literally be like a weatherman or something like that. Yeah, weather, knowing everything that's happening, rain, all kind of things on the day and all that kind of stuff. You have to know all these type of things to get approved, because they have to know that you know about a lot of things, man. Even controls. So like for example, let me get it for you. So you have to know, like, what, that's when you go up to the higher levels, like S2 going all the way up. You know, you have to know like S spaces. So let me come up on this page. Yeah. So you have to know all of that. And that's in the real world too, eh? So not just, don't think like this is just online, eh? This is like real world. You have to know about all these type of things, you know. I was just on the thing a while ago. Did I move it? Did I go on the next? There it goes. So like airspaces and all that kind of stuff, towered, non-towered, certain places, like, you know, some of them is 1,200 feet. Some of them actually goes all the way down as class G and M up to 700 for non-tower airports and stuff. Like you have to know how the communications and all this kind of thing goes. You know, when it comes to that, obviously those who know class Bravo airport, class Bravo airspace, you need communication, and you basically have to be on IFR. Sorry, Alpha, class Alpha, you have to be in IFR. There's no VFR, so that's 18,000 feet above. But Bravo, you need two-way communication, and some airports actually doesn't have like VFR traffic actually taking off from these airports. So that's with class Bravo. They have the configuration, but class Bravo generally above, like from flight level 14, like, you know, going up to flight level 180. Like that's approach control section there, but obviously they'll have tower and stuff like that. But yeah, you have to learn about all of that, generally speaking. You have to know about all these type of things when it comes to the higher level, so that you know for sure. So some traffic, for example, if a traffic is here coming into my airspace, you know, this is class Delta, they must have two-way communication within here. If a traffic goes outside, they're outside the airspace, so they'll actually be in like uncontrolled airspace below, like it's 1,500 feet or so. and then they're actually on their own. So now they have to actually be communicating to like the flight service station and all that. So yeah. Now I don't want to run my mouth here whole night. Yeah, I have a lot to do tonight too, man. So we have information Charlie at the moment. So that's what I'm saying. It changes the weather. You have to know the weather. So the weather changes every, like the weather update changes like 15 minutes off and 45 minutes to the hour as well. So it's 60 minutes now. So it's changed. So it's now information Charlie. Oh, Charlie. Probably does change as well, but now. Alright. So landing on runway, take off, departing runway 10. Still ILS. Obviously, I didn't change it. I mean, I could manipulate it, but I decided not to do that, obviously. Like, there's no reason to do that. But yeah. So knowing all of these things, because actually before I didn't actually know that you have to actually speak things according to like certain rules. So if I come back to this thing I was talking about earlier. Alright, so let me say that's connecting S1 just now. So that's the wrong, so I actually gave you all guys the wrong one. So the basic ATC, that's the very first one. Ah, Jesus, I keep opening this. Opening with PowerPoint. Alright, here we go. So the first thing you're gonna see, what in this section it says here, Piarco FIR is governed by ICAO, which is ICAO. Doc, and that's the most important part, the doc 4444. That is the doc. And now I've actually read that doc as well, which I probably should open on another screen. Yeah, so I've actually read that doc. So let me go on that doc. Jesus. So let me pull it up. Let me just pull up something at least close to that doc. Alright, so it's gonna at least just extrapolate some of the. Alright, so it says doc. Alright, that's the procedures for air navigation. Why is this important? Because you have things like PANS. Alright, essential manual for like in terms of how the procedures are in terms of IQ. So these are the things that's most important. How it is, what's the purpose, basically the idea, talking about like the primary is primarily used for air traffic controllers, operations, airline operators, stuff like that, but not necessarily the airlines. The airlines doesn't have to operate by ICAO, depends on wherever the aircraft is from, the manufacturers. If they're from Europe, it will be ICAO, but depends on how the specs is for them. But in terms of the actual air traffic controller, them, they're governed by all of these type of docs in terms of how they operate, how they speak, how they understand aviation sector and all that kind of thing. So yeah, Piarco, which is still European, or so obviously under Europe and all that kind of stuff, we still have to go through certain things. Yeah, so that is what it is. Right, so let me go back. Yeah, so what is the duty of ATC? As you see, it says to give priority to separating aircraft and issuing safety alerts. Well, as required. Good judgment must be used in prioritizing all other provisions for the 444 based on the requirements of the situation at hand. Right? So basically, telling you that situation at hand, and obviously that's where training and help and all that kind of things comes into play. In terms, sorry, when I mean help, like in terms of like figuring out how to deal with the situation and all that, that's where that comes into play. You have to know how to go about that, because it's logics, but it is logical based on the operations of how they expect you to do things. All right, so as an S2 for ground, for tower, I'm not allowed to tell like greater vectors and all that kind of stuff. Like I just, if a situation happen here, there's another traffic here, and I'm over here. If the traffic, like let's say our traffic is over here, something happening there, or some planes are wrong here doing stuff, and this traffic here, I'm not telling them radar vectors and that, according to not just class Delta, but obviously if they want to stay in class Delta up to like 3,000 feet, or in this case here 4,001 for a transition. But or like 3,000 for the ceiling of the airspace. Then you tell them, well, discretion, if they go above it, then they have to actually go to approach. But once they're within tower, so for example, you tell them to just either go left or right to like whether they VFR traffic, if they VFR, so that in that way they can avoid traffic and stuff, because you still have to alert them because of information, because of class delta. What class delta is, two-way communication and all. Two-way communication doesn't mean like telling the traffic, hey, like you over here, I'm over there, and that kind of thing, and then like that's it. No, it's like you're still vigilant. The tower still have to try to know where you are, figure out what's the situation, how to deal with it. Whereas VFR will be like, well, if I'm already VFR, why does the tower have to care? Like I could just do what I want. No, they're still allowed to navigate things to make sure everything is run smoothly. Alright, but you as a pilot, obviously you have to understand that you're in class delta, and then let's say the tower is not online, then it becomes class echo, right? So it moves from a class delta literally when the tower is online, or when they're there. When the tower goes off, or let's say overnight, then it becomes a class echo, so they could literally fly in and out, do different things whichever way they want to do it on their own discretion. So that is how it is. Yeah. Does the runway change due to wind conditions? Yes. Answer is yes and no. Yes, I'm just putting it out there as well. Alright, so answer is yes and no. But primarily yes. And the reason why I say primarily yes, because if I go back to the to this, for example, at the moment the wind is blowing, based on this, you guys can see it's probably blowing around, it's blowing light. Alright, it seems like it's blowing light, and as you can see, it's only blowing at 4 knots. Alright, but the direction is pretty much straight on in terms of the runway. So if I come back to the runway, yeah, so you can see here the wind is literally coming straight on the runway. Alright, but you'll be telling yourself, as the air traffic controller, why do you have to care about that? You'd be like, really and truly, you'd be like, why do I have to care about what run? Like, why can't I just take the plane at any time and just tell them go on that runway and then just take off? Like, why do you have to care about all that kind of stuff? Because you have to sort of understand aerodynamics and wind. So that's where you'll be like, as an air traffic controller, you still have to understand the actual plane. Yes. Like, you still have to understand the actual plane. Yes, the airplane physics in terms of angle of attack and all that kind of thing. Wind, how the rotation, all that kind of stuff, how it can impact it. Like, they could have pockets of air that just woof, you just send the plane up while it take off, and then probably lose speed because the pocket of air start to move, and next thing you know, it ends up in like starting to, it might not just ditch, but it just might not accelerate enough the way that you expect it to accelerate. So point is, yes, runway in terms of the wind, letting the wind come. So, and if you know about aerodynamics, the wind as it goes, then from the wings it goes down. So when it goes down that way, it's like, because the flaps is here, it's like it pushes up the aircraft. So it's a greater chance of actually getting an takeoff. Whereas if the wind is blowing, if the wind is like blowing from here on you here, to change the angle here, that is so much greater to change the angle, and then to try to get elevation, you're going to end up just more stagnant if the wind is because it could change so much over here if you're actually taking off runway 28 and it's like 15 knots, and it's like, it's the wind is very heavy and stuff like that, then it's very, 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 very difficult for the aircraft to like try and take off, because things could literally happen over here that is so bad that, because mountains and all that kind of stuff, sometimes, the wind just dissipates what happened to the aircraft. Because even if the aircraft has 28 tons of thrust, for example, like the CFM engines, which has like 26. Sorry, the lip engines for the Max or whatever has like 28. You know, the angle of attack and all that kind of thing. You have to look and take that into consideration. Now, that's where the yes primarily, but the no also is, for example, if the winds are calm, like right now the winds are only 3 knots, 4 knots. If a traffic is like, if a traffic, for example, from here taking off, he's late, right? He's very late on departure, right? For example, but first of all, I want to know if Jarrell is here. Jarrell, are you here first? Before I stop talking, are you here? I'm sorry, before I continue to talk, but first of all, I had to pause for a little bit. So, Jarrell, are you here? Oh, he said yes, yes. Sorry. Good, good, good. Right. So, yeah. So, in ATC, which I cannot open up the document to show you, it is actually within this document. Sorry, I'll tell you where it is. Is it ground? Sorry, is it ground? It's in, I believe it's in ground, but it's also inside of one of these documents. But I know for sure it's in the all-in-one, but I can't talk about that because, like I said, I'm actually training for an S2, right? So, and I'm not gonna open any document and stuff and then get myself tied up with, you know, with Piarco and stuff. Because obviously, I mean, training is training, but I mean, I have said it's a solo, so at least people know. So I'm not a full S2 tower, but I'm getting certified. But anyways, coming back to what from what I learned as well, obviously what they're saying is, if it's calm, the runway is calm, right? Just understand that here, Jarrell. If it's calm, if the winds are calm, or like 2 knots, tower, the traffic is late on departure, and he's going to, let's say he's going to Williamstead, right, in Curacao, right, or Curacao, whichever way they call it, Curacao. He's probably like an hour late. If he's an hour late, he could literally just request. Oh, let me go back. I know it's in St. Helena, right? There he is. So if it's late, and he's already packed over here, instead of going through here and then instead of going through there and then have to literally change all over there, and then afterwards when he takes off, you still have to climb up to about like 2,000 feet and then turn right and then go all the way there. He could probably cut back on like 15 minutes, 10 minutes, depends, because they might have traffic in the area over here. They might have traffic coming on the arrival and stuff, you know, or something like that. But or probably traffic somewhere around or something like that. So he could cut back if he just takes off. What I mean arrival, sorry, I meant to say over here. If there's traffic probably going down, I know, Guyana or something, there's some traffic passing around. Probably descending, going down to probably to Grenada, so probably at 8,000 feet by then, over 10,000 feet or something. So it might clash, or it might show like they might end up clashing or something like that. So you might just figure it's better to just take off to save probably 15 minutes as well. So just take off from intersection over here, straight from here, which is literally quick, get here, get over here, and just take off straight if the winds are calm, and that way it saves him so much time and just goes straight out. So like a day like today, which is like just about 4 knots, which is probably 3 knots on the tailwind, you could actually just, if they request it, you would go with that. You would go with runway 28. Now it's up to you as the air traffic controller, from what I'm reading and what they've told me as well, which obviously makes sense. It is on your discretion that if you choose to prioritize in terms of priority, you could actually get the traffic departed from runway 28, for example, to try to reduce the in terms of congestion and all that kind of stuff, right? So sometimes they might have other traffic looking at taxiing out and stuff. He might be number 2 or 3 or something like that. All right, if he wants to get out fast, or if he wants to get out first, they say you pause this traffic here because of, let's say, priority. I'm just saying priority. I'm just giving an example for, let's just say he's already over here you know, just telling him, all right, just take off, you know, and then probably delay this guy who probably just around here, who would have probably been priority number 1. So you just delayed him, just by about, you know, just 3 minutes. And then when he takes off and it goes his way, that way he cuts out on time and stuff. So it's all about operation management, because what did they say? It's not just, yes, it is about how, you know, operations and so let me go back to the first one. Sorry, not this one. It is about in terms of go back. Let me give you. Okay, actually that's the wrong one. So let me come back up to the top. Where is it? All right. Is that the one? No, that's observer mode. S1. So is it basically, it is about like not just about doing controls and stuff, but it's all about efficiency as well, because you don't want to delay traffic. All right, you don't want to delay traffic. Oh, was I on the screen the whole time? I think I was on the screen the whole time, you know, because look, the screen saying there. Alright, the primary purpose is to provide a safe, orderly, and expeditious flow of traffic. You see, it says expeditious. So you as the air traffic controller, obviously through, like I was saying earlier, through, is it, through Echo and them, right? Where is Echo? Oh, did I put Echo on the other one? There we go. Through Echo and them, who gives you the certificates, right? In terms of airworthiness and all that, that's to the pilots and stuff. But in terms of like trade ATC and stuff, like knowing that you know how to deal with management, efficiency, and all that is also a part of the whole operations as an air traffic controller. So if we look back on some of the sessions I've done, I think I've got. Let me take this off. Let me go back. Let me go back to. Let me see. Where did I have it? Was it Sunday, casual Sunday night? Alright, let me see if that's the one to where I actually had some sessions. I think that's the one. Alright. Because things got a little bit. Alright. There you go. Alright. I'm just looking for the situation. I'm just giving you this. So that's me asking him if he's ready for takeoff. Because I think that the other traffic is a bit out. Alright. Even before that, there was a traffic that already departed. So he just departed. Right? So that traffic just departed. And you can see there's another traffic over here. There's another traffic. Let me push this a little bit on the ground here. And there's another one on the arrival. Coming on the arrival. Oh, I wish I could have just pulled it back. Anyways, you guys saw that there was another one coming on the arrival. So one just took off, one just landed, one sat there, and then you have to manage how you're doing that with all of that. And trust me, it gets a little bit difficult. Right? So I tell him to. So you guys heard that? You guys heard when I said to extend the upwind? You guys heard that? I just told him to extend the upwind because on that time they had traffic already, probably around a beam somewhere. He was around here, he's around here. I don't want them to clash because this is part of operations. So let me zoom in here. I have this on 2 minutes leg. So let me change it. This is on minutes. Alright, so it's on minute. Whereas I had it on nautical miles, but it's minutes. So you're doing 2 minutes. So you want the traffic to at least be 2 minutes away from each other, like in terms of at least minimum. It goes up to 3, depends on the situation. But yeah, in that situation it's different. So yeah, so I was saying, so traffic will be on the upwind over here, and then the other ones there, then they can clash together over here if they actually like around the same. So operation wise, you want them to always be vigilant in the class Delta, which comes back to what we were saying about the classes. Come back over here. All right, the classes over here. So there's, like I say, class Delta. This is class Bravo Charlie class Delta, which is like tower over here. All right. So yeah. So in the class Delta, it's like you see, it's just tower. Like it's more like tower airspace. It doesn't mean that it's tower, because class Delta doesn't mean tower. Right? Don't get it twisted. Class Delta does not mean tower. Class Delta means that the aircraft is or has the capabilities of or must be doing two-way communication according to ICAO, FAA, whichever one. In this case, this is America, so like FAA rules, right? So they must have two-way communication between each other, which means that you must have a mic and stuff like that in the aircraft, right? It's not like one of these aircraft where you don't need to have that, but I mean, you should have a mic anyway to be able to communicate on frequency. The point is you must talk on frequency. So anytime somebody got VATSIM and they're in the class Delta, they should actually practically call or answer stuff like that, because you're in a class Delta and the airport is a class Delta. Like Trinidad, all of them, most of the Caribbean, well, most, if not most, all is class Delta. Trinidad, Barbados, Robinson, Delta, class Delta. Grenada, class Delta. Alright. So, and actually I'll just open up the document that actually talks about that. So just, okay, let me open up that document. Where is it? I know where it is. Where it is. Alright, so let me go again. Class Delta, as you guys seen here. Robinson, class Delta. Piarco, class Delta. Alright, let's go down. Let's go up, sorry. Up or down? It seems like we have to go down. Let's keep going down. That's Trinidad. Alright, let's keep going down. Let's keep going down. Next one. Barbados, class Delta. Next one. Let's continue. Let's continue. Let's continue. All right, who's in the class before I continue? Right, who's here? Who's here and who's not here, guys? Who's here and who's not here, guys? Who's here and who's not here? Anybody who's here and who's not here? Who's at least somebody say something at least? Talking a lot about ATC stuff here. So who's here and who's not here? I will be doing some other ATC sessions. Other ATC things to do with like some other podcasts and all that kind of stuff, where it will be a little bit more about other things as well. Some other guys' experiences, those who actually does ATC and stuff like that. So yeah, a lot of things. So yeah, I will be doing a lot of things, man. So you guys just do look out for that. It might not be an actual yeah, so you guys will see a lot of things coming out, which I already said outline in a lot of detailed stuff in terms of directing a lot of things for the channel. So you guys gonna look out for all of that kind of stuff. All right. I did hear something ring a while ago, and I wonder if that's the guy that messaged. It's Suriname. Nope, nah. Seems like, oh, it's San Juan just said that they're closing in 10 minutes. That's what they said there. So who's in the class? Who's in the class? Who's not in the class? Gerald, are you here in the class? Who else is in the class? Oh, not class, but you know what I mean. Whitson, are you here? Who else is there? Who else is there? Who else is not here? Because I'm almost about finishing off everything. Let me see. Discord. Alright, so Bradley Wint is controlling. Kyle is also in the control lounge. Right. So that's two of them over there. Who else is there? Who else is there? Who else is there? Oh, he said, yep. Oh, nice. Okay. So it seems like Gerald, you're the only one here. Actually, you're not the only one here. And they have about 7 more of you. 7 more of you here right now. But yeah. So Yeah, so coming back to what I was saying a little bit earlier, I'm not gonna be talking about, obviously I've already done my S1 and stuff, so all of this information is to do with some of the things that I've learned from them. But I'm actually doing, like I said, S2, and I'm not gonna open, as you guys realize, I didn't actually open any of my S2 notes and stuff because that is to do with training and Piarco and stuff, and you know, we're not about to cause any ruckus and all that kind of stuff. So but yeah, so obviously as a air traffic control, this part which is to do with safe, orderly and expeditious flow of traffic. So coming back to what Gerald was saying, which runway decides, is it always just the weather, the wind? Not always necessarily the wind, but it is a big factor. The wind operations could say on the day that which obviously we don't do it in aviation in terms of VATSIM, but in real world I do know that, for example, if I open up a FAA chart, give me a second, I will talk to you about something in the which actually most times we as, you know, pilots, or put it as we as people who want to become pilots, we don't talk a lot about it, or not talk, but we don't really necessarily factor it, which I actually have some things that I actually have to talk about. Some things that we should, things that we should be looking at, but we're not actually looking at. Just now. Just now. Ugh. Just now. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Okay. All right. So yeah, that's another one. That's another one, which yeah, which I actually have to elaborate on that. So I'm gonna actually show you guys a chart. All right, I'm gonna show you guys a FAA chart. All right, so just give me a second. Let me open up that chart and I'll talk about it. So just give me a quick second here. All right, and I think, oh yes, it's open. Here we go. All right. Okay, so let me open up that on the bigger screen here. There we go. All right, so let's go. So let me see if I can flick this. Here we go. Even better. All right. So something that people tend not to use, and it's very, very important. All right. It's very, very, very important. If you know about this stuff here, this is the section that is very important, that I'm gonna zoom in. Let me zoom in. Let me zoom in. That pilots sometimes they don't pay attention to some of these things, but in general aviation, and you might say, why does it matter? Right? You might say, why does it matter? If I talk about, for example, I'll give you guys, for example, which I'm gonna put off here for a little bit, because I'll tell you why it actually matters. All right. I'll tell you guys why it matters. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. All right. All right, they give me a call. Give me a second. Yeah, everybody, I'm back. I'm back. Sorry, I hope y'all didn't go anywhere. I'm back. I hope y'all didn't go anywhere. Okay? So let's come. Alright, so come, let me put myself back on the webcam. So, like I said, I had a call there. Yeah, me say, so not because when I first started flying, I was using that. Right, yeah. Right. Yeah, when I was actually, I was literally the same. I still consider it because it's very, very important, Gerald. It is very, very important. So I have actually a few things I have to actually talk about. But like I say, I mean, it's pretty long. The live is now 2 hours. It's actually reached the point where I say I was gonna stop. But I'm just gonna say that I actually have a few things to actually do, and one of them is actually that because I'm more a community. You know, I do things for the community and that kind of thing when it comes to flight sim and stuff. So it's not necessarily just for views or whatever the case. I don't really care about the views. But somebody the other day, he sent me money because he was like, you know, sometimes I only have two people on the live or whatever, and he's like, oh, you know, thanks for still keep going or whatever. And I'm like, it's all about like the community, man. It's like, you know, you just keep doing things. Some people would like it on a certain days. Some people might say, hey, you know, some things they didn't realize or they didn't know, or you know, it's a nice conversation. They'll be like, yeah, you know, let me talk a little bit about that, something. So that's what it's all about. That's what community is all about. So that's what I do is all for. So if we go, like where is it again? Like I was saying, where is it? Yeah, but anyways, I'll just try to keep it. I'll try to keep it as simple as possible right now. But yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about that. Actually, you know, I'll just to finish off, we'll just talk a little bit about it right now, and then I'll come back to it on to when I have to actually do all of that. Yeah, so I only have like 5 more minutes left. So yeah, if we go to this PCN, which is 90R RBWT, which is very, very important because this tells you the weight of the aircraft. It also tells you what runway. It also tells you the weight bearing, right? The bearing, the weight, the loaded bearings and stuff. So sometimes an A380 might not be able to taxi on Lima or Alpha or Quebec, for example. They might not be able to do that because it's probably thinner. It's probably asphalt and they're not actually the one that the A380 can take. So you might be like, why does all of that matter? Because let's say if we go into, like I was saying, VC Bird Airport, and where is it? I'm looking for VC Bird. The VC Bird. Yeah, you might be like, why does it really matter? Chat. Oh, but I put airport chat, so how come I'm not seeing it? Oh, I put in images. So where is it? Sky Vector. Why am I don't actually have to go. I could actually go in my stuff because the airport is actually over here. So if I go VC Bird, alright, let's open this. Here we go. And then we'll see it from here. So for example, if I open this, now what I'm talking about here is not related to the actual weight bearing, but actually it is in a way. This is a bit too small for, you know, it's a bit too small for bigger aircraft to actually pass on Alpha. So like the 737s don't go on Alpha. It's a bit too small. Also there's like, it's very close to like the road. There's a road and stuff over there, mountain and stuff. So it's like they don't want planes to probably, I don't know, it's stuff like that. Also it is like a bit of weighting and stuff. So there's a weight, actually it does, but it just doesn't show. It doesn't show the weight category in the documents that we have. So if I go back to the all, because like I said, I already done my S1, so I can actually show you guys all of that. So if I go to TAPA, there is operation. To do that, ground taxiway, it says Alpha is restricted. We read it from here. Taxiway Alpha is restricted to aircraft with taxiway 65, right? And that's wingspan. So your aircraft could be that, but if, because some aircrafts might have a longer wingspan and be slightly lighter or something, because you know. So it all depends on some of the configurations. In this case here, they have the wingspan. Alright, a wingspan of 100 and a weight of 65. So yeah, so you see why there's certain they might not show it on the chart here, but that is because obviously, you know, this is more like this is not FAA chart type. So, but the FAA would actually give you an idea what the runway. This is runway, but in terms of the actual taxiway, they will have information about the taxiway stuff in some of the IQ type of operations. They will tell you which runways, which taxiway you can't really taxi on, stuff like that. In other supplement chats, I think it's on Sky Vector. So if we go on to KJFK Sky Vector, we go on to KJFK Sky Vector, right? Sky Vector, and then we go down. If I remember clearly, okay, this section here it is. This section here. This section here would tell you so much information about runway. There's puppies, stuff like that. And if I remember, some of them actually tell you that certain runway, certain taxiways and stuff. In some of the notes and the airport remarks and stuff, or they tell you about some of the taxiways, limited to certain weights and stuff like that. So then you have a better idea as to which taxiway, and also it could also be in the no time as well, which also people don't look at now. You know, it's a bit a shame that people don't even look at these things. All right. So if we go, for example, if we go into, because I'm finishing off here. It's a bit of a sorry. Let me get to. That's the last thing I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna be closing off here. I'm going to the, where is it? Okay, there we go. Database query. There we go. Am I? Oh, right. Oh, I thought I was, because I'm no longer with some of the things anymore. So yeah. So yeah, I've changed a lot of things anyway. But yeah, coming back, I'm no longer with some of the chat stuff. But but if we go to, because this is for the no time stuff. So if we go to not significant stuff here, that's upwinds. What's that? Airport. Right, here we go. So airport search. Right, you can go for airport codes and stuff. So let's say if we go to KJFK, for example, you'll get the meta TAF. They'll tell you the no time stuff here, which runway close. Now, the most important part is this section here down there. They'll tell you about certain things like which taxiway signs, somewhere which taxiway. This one tells you taxiway Lima unserviceable. Well, that's to do with the signs and all that. Some of them. Taxiway 4 ramp missing, but I'm looking for one that actually has to do with the actual, I mean, they have, oh, for example, you say taxiway Y close, certain things. But the point is, like, some of the things they will actually give you some of the information to do with some of the things. It says runway paved close, or pad, runway run up pad close. So they give you some information so you can know about some of this stuff. Why is it important? Like I was saying about VC Bird. Why is it important for VC Bird? Because like I said earlier, when it comes to VC Bird in terms of operations, the tower controller obviously has, oh geez, there we go. Tower controller and all of that kind of stuff, ground controller, and them have to know about the weights and all that kind of stuff so that they'll know where to send the traffic and stuff. So you have to do it based on ICAO and all that kind of stuff, because this is what ICAO says based on your regulatory body and all that kind of stuff, right? So yeah, but that's about that. So everybody, I'm gonna talk a little bit more about some of these things a little bit in another live. But you guys been absolutely brilliant today. I'm not gonna lie, you guys been absolutely brilliant. Thank you for everybody for actually turning up here. This was a quick. Today was just about even if I'm doing ATC, but just I got a chance to at least be able to do some traffic at the same time. But it was just talking about ATC and what all the things that they do when it comes to ATC. That's just a brief overview of some of the things, but obviously this is episode 5, so there'll have more episodes where we talk a little bit more about it in terms of ATC. So at least for some of the things, what I'll do is I'll be a little bit more cued into some of the things, so more specific, so that at least we have an idea. But that part of it is actually going to be with the podcast and everything that I have going to be launched coming up soon. So guys, look out for that. All of these things are going to be coming up. The podcast and all these things that I have coming up. How frequently do you do ATC? I actually try to do it as like once a week or so. So that's why Actually, sometimes I do it without even like streaming, but yeah. So whenever I do ATC, whenever I do ATC, Gerald, whenever I do ATC and stuff, I put it in my Discord. So everybody in my Discord, when you see I do some of the lives and stuff, like because I put it out in Discord and all that kind of stuff, that I'm gonna be doing a ATC, and some of my friends that I hang around, so sometimes I get a lot of traffic, you know, because like I put it out there, so at least people know and stuff, so at least people come and fly and do the circuits and all that kind of thing. So I've had a lot of different circuits, man. Yeah, I've had a lot of circuits, so that's really nice, like, you know, in terms of getting people coming on. But this one is very exciting, man. So let's just watch this last. All right, let's just watch this last little session, yeah, and then that's gonna be that. All right, and that's gonna be that. So he just asked about a beam the tower. Sorry, a beam is, yeah. Sorry, not, yeah. Here he is, a beam the tower there, and he wants another touch and go. So basically, he wants to come back and land again. And this guy. All right, so this guy's on the ground waiting. Now, bear in mind, I actually waited. Seems like you have a aircraft coming in 23 minutes. Yeah, but I have to actually go, so I'm not gonna wait for that. So, but yeah, this aircraft, he's been waiting around. Why has he been waiting around? Even if it's a light aircraft and stuff, I mean, I was just practicing in terms of like, if it's a heavy aircraft, you have to wait for like, because he's doing an interception departure, minimums has to be like 2 minutes. If it's like a heavy and a medium aircraft, then you have to give them 3 minutes. Yeah, because they have some separation and stuff like that. Yeah, well, actually I have to double check it, because I actually normally follow it up, because like I said, I'm in S2, so I have to keep remembering myself in terms of the separation times, because obviously wake turbulence, the traffic might end up because as the aircraft getting faster and faster, most of the velocity from the wind and all that kind of stuff, which is why people have to still know about the aircraft. Even if you're a tower controller, you have to know about the aircraft and velocity, wind, and all these kind of things, and understand how it operates in terms of aircraft and stuff like that, operations. So yeah, so I made him wait. As you realize, I made him wait for a little bit, just because I wanted to make sure all the wind's gone, even if, like I said, this is a Cessna aircraft that just take off, but just trying to emulate, like, you know, take the chance to train and everything, because, you know, I might not always get like big aircraft separation like that, but because it's VATSIM, you don't always get a lot of traffic, so I was like, you know, I'm gonna take the chance to practice. So yeah, and they have another aircraft coming. All right. All right. So he's on Bravo here, and let me see the other traffic. So he's taking off here. Ooh, nice depart. Okay. And then the other traffic come back, because he was a beam the tower, and he's a beam the tower now. He's coming and land there, so he's pretty close. All right, so that's, yeah. So some little session, 2 hours and stuff, but yeah, anyways guys, that's the end of that. So we'll catch up, because I actually have to go now. But yeah, really appreciate it, all you guys coming on. Like I say, I'm gonna be doing some of the podcasts and all that kind of thing, obviously, which you guys might not know which day and stuff, but I think it's gonna be coming up, because I want to obviously expose things a little bit more, because I'm very patriotic when it comes to aviation and all that kind of stuff. So talk a little bit more, so you guys are just gonna look out for all this stuff. I'm saying that to you guys now, but obviously those who know it now know, but those who haven't, then they would see it coming up. It's gonna be just like these, because this is episode 5 for me, but today was just talking about Q&As and stuff, things to do with ATC and stuff, and then I'll be obviously going back to like normal controlling and tower and stuff like that, doing actual simulation, but today wasn't really about simulation. So but yeah, okay, so everybody, I'm off now, so that's gonna be the end of that. All right, so everybody, so take care, bye bye.